Jean Piaget was a Swiss psychologist, born on August 9, 1896, in Neuchâtel, Switzerland. Now, Piaget is best known for his groundbreaking work on child development, particularly how children's thinking evolves over time. Now, Piaget is best known for his groundbreaking work on child development, particularly how children's thinking evolves over time. While most psychologists at the time focused on adult behavior, Piaget was curious about the way children thought and learned. He wanted to understand how children came to know what they knew, and how they interacted with the world around them. Piaget's big contribution to psychology is his theory of cognitive development. He believed that children are not just miniature adults, their way of thinking is fundamentally different at each stage of development. Piaget proposed that children go through 4 stages of cognitive development, and well, each stage is characterized by different ways of thinking and understanding the world. Sensorimotor stage from birth to 2 years is the first stage. During this time, infants explore the world using their senses and motor skills. Sensorimotor stage from birth to 2 years is the first stage. Here, infants begin to explore the world using their senses and motor skills. They also start to understand that objects exist even when they can't see them, something Piaget called object permanence. The preoperational stage, which occurs between 2 to 7 years of age, is when children start using language and symbols to represent objects. But their thinking is still quite egocentric. What this means is, they often struggle to see things from other people's perspectives. For instance, if a child looks at a tree and thinks it's just a big toy, they might not yet grasp that others see it as a tree too. It's an interesting phase of development, isn't it? Now, the concrete operational stage happens between 7 and 11 years. During this time, children begin thinking logically about concrete events. They also start to understand concepts like conservation. That's the idea that quantity doesn't change even if the appearance changes. For example, if you pour water from a tall, narrow glass into a short, wide glass, they'll now realize the amount of water stays the same. It's like a light bulb moment for logical thinking. Finally, we have the formal operational stage, which begins around 12 years and continues into adulthood. This is when abstract thinking kicks in. Teenagers at this stage can think about hypothetical situations and apply logic to solve complex problems. It's such a significant leap from the concrete thinking of earlier stages, and it really sets the stage for more advanced reasoning abilities. Fascinating, isn't it? Piaget believed that children's thinking evolves in a set sequence of stages, each building on the one before. These stages are universal, meaning they apply to all children regardless of culture or background. Piaget thought that as children interacted with their environment, they learned and adapted through processes he called assimilation and accommodation. Assimilation is when children use existing knowledge to interpret new experiences. For example, if a child sees a dog for the first time and calls it a cat because it has 4 legs, that's assimilation. Accommodation is when they change their thinking to incorporate new information, like realizing that not all animals with 4 legs are cats. Piaget didn't just sit in a lab and theorize, he did hands-on research. He observed his own children as they grew, and he also conducted experiments with other kids to understand their thinking. Some of these experiments were pretty simple, but honestly, brilliant in their design. For example, one of his famous experiments involved showing children 2 glasses with the same amount of liquid. He would then pour the liquid from one glass into a taller, thinner glass, and ask the child which glass had more liquid. Children in the preoperational stage often thought the taller glass had more liquid, even though they had seen the liquid poured. Object permanence. This is the understanding that objects continue to exist even when they can't be seen, heard, or touched. This milestone typically happens during the sensorimotor stage, around 6 to 8 months of age. Object permanence. This is the understanding that objects continue to exist even when they can't be seen, heard, or touched. This milestone typically happens during the sensorimotor stage, around 6 to 8 months of age. Egocentrism. In the preoperational stage, children often believe that everyone sees the world the way they do. For instance, if a child is sitting on one side of a table and can see a doll, but someone on the other side can't, the child might think the other person can see the doll too. It's just fascinating how their minds work at this stage, isn't it? Conservation is the understanding that certain properties of objects, like volume or mass, remain the same even if their appearance changes. Piaget demonstrated this concept with his famous liquid experiment, and later with tasks involving number and mass. Of course, Piaget's theories weren't without their critics. Some argued that he underestimated children's abilities, especially in the earlier stages. Recent research suggests that some cognitive abilities, like object permanence, develop earlier than Piaget thought. Others believe that cognitive development doesn't happen in such clear-cut stages, and that it's more of a gradual process. However, Piaget's work was revolutionary at the time, and it laid the foundation for much of the research on cognitive development that came after him. Piaget's work has had a profound impact on how we think about teaching and learning. His theories influenced educational practices, emphasizing that children learn best when they are actively engaged in their environment. Today, Piaget's ideas are still used in education to create age-appropriate learning experiences that match children's developmental stages. So, to sum it all up, Jean Piaget changed the way we understand child development. His research revealed that children's thinking evolves in stages, each one more complex than the last. His work also highlighted how important hands-on learning and discovery are for kids.